I'm going to put a word up here. I'm going to ask you to repeat it. I'm going to be a little bit of a control freak and tell you how I want you to repeat it. Then I'm going to ask you a question that you know the answer to, and I want you to not even stop and think. Give me your gut reaction and answer the question. Is everybody clear on the directions? Yes. All right, let's rock. What's that word? Stop. Louder. Stop. With passion. Stop. With enthusiasm. Stop. Okay, 6 times with my hand. What do you do at a green light? What do you do at a green light? Remind me not to drive home next to you this afternoon. Okay, so what just happened? I loaded up your perceptual filters with the word shop. Then I asked you a question that you knew the answer to, and you gave me the exact opposite of what you knew to be true, simply because I loaded up your perceptual filter for just a moment. Now, think about how much your perceptual filters get loaded up with crap all day long. Okay? Now let's try another one. Same thing, and be careful how you say that word. Okay, what's that word? Vote. Louder. Vote. 10 times with my hand. Vote. What do you call the white of an egg? So here's what happened. Here's what happened. I got about half a dozen people saying white of an egg, and not even maybe that many. I had about half of the room saying yolk, which I assumed was a cultural difference, because in Colorado we call the yellow part the yolk, but you know, there are cultural differences. And then there was about a third or a little more of the room who didn't say anything, and they said, she is not doing that to me again. But what was their gut screaming? Yolk? Yeah, so now we're gonna do it one more time, but I'm gonna change the directions. This time when I ask you the question, I'm gonna put up 3 fingers for 3 seconds. And I'd like you to keep your lips together and be quiet for those 3 seconds. It's gonna give your brain a chance to engage. And then I want you to answer the question, and we'll see if that makes a difference. So what's that word? Louder. 5 times. What do you put in a toaster? That's much more better. Most of you chose to ignore my wait 3-second rule. But you don't follow directions well, do you, girlfriend? But apparently you engaged your brain enough to not give me toast. So here's the important lesson. All day long, we are fed information from people, from events, from the news, from people in our lives that aren't supportive. And if we don't take a 3-second pause, engage our brains and say, what do I choose to think about this? Then we can go through our entire lives having knee-jerk reactions and saying and doing things that we wouldn't have chosen to say or do had we had the time to stop and make a choice, had we taken the time to stop and make a choice.